So, welcome everyone to this presentation. Thank you very much for being here with us. I hope you had a great lunch previously. So, what we're going to present today, it's about BDD, you'll see what BDD means, methodology, and Gherkin language, and how we can close the gap, how we can bridge the gap between business and technology. Oh, photos. The proper ones, right? Perfect. So, but first things first. Who am I? I'm Goulis. I'm senior manager at Greece, working for technology consulting services. Actually, my name is not Goulis, it's Goulis in Greek. Goulis means, for the non-Greek fellows here, means bald guy, right? No hair. So you can match my name now with my face.
You made it happen.
No, it's a family thing. So what I do for EY, right? I work for system transformation, mostly IT architecture and software development. On my free time, I'm a photographer. I love drone photography. It's my latest hobby. I'm a addicted tennis player, but please don't challenge me though. I'm not a good player, right? And I love buying electronic gadgets. Don't mention that to my wife, please. She will kill me. How to reach me at, right? So that's my Twitter account. That's our email there, and please mention my name to the body or to the title of the email. Or of course you can just come and say hello, as some of you have already done that. Let's start with a question, actually. Which is the greatest challenge that teams are facing? So I've been working with many teams, working with EY actually, and I can mention one top challenge that I am facing mostly, and it's actually the communication and collaboration. And I'll try to give you a quick flow, quickly as I can actually. 10 minutes not enough for that, to elaborate more. So what's happening actually from development to deployment? You usually have a developer, right, checking items from a backlog list, or features from a backlog list. As a second step, you have that team of 3, BA, developer and tester, try to discuss and do a briefing of what these items are about, right, and what's going to be delivered by the developer to the rest of the team. Then you have that secret room, right, where the magic is happening. Of course, developers are not, sometimes not involved there, where SMEs and testers prepare test cases. And this is where magic happens most of the times. When preparation is done and development, of course, is complete, you have testers, a bunch of testers, testing many things there, right? Doing their manual work and trying to see if the implementation that developer did is working as expected. Second step, of course, let's present those results to the SMEs and BAs and see if whatever they have asked has been implemented, has been delivered. And if things go well, then code goes to production. And if things go bad, right, which is a case, then this should go back to a backlog list, to a featured list, which actually needs to go again the whole life cycle. Let's see a few things, actually, how we can automate or minimize this kind of life cycle. Let's see what is BDD. BDD is actually, the letters mean behavior-driven development, which was introduced by Dan North in mid-2000. It's an evolution of the test-driven development. It's a more general testing framework. We're not going to discuss that today. And its primary goal, actually, is to mitigate the misunderstandings between all stakeholders, developers, testers, business analysts, clients, etc. And how does that thing, the BDD, do that, achieve that? Is by bridging the gaps between technical and non-technical people. We will see that later on with an example. How is this achieved? Is by developing and testing the system based on behavior and not on code, which is actually traditionally is done. Let's see an example now and understand what BDD is and how BDD looks, user stories and requirements. So what's the user story? I believe some of you have heard that terminology, right? And user story actually, it's a small item. It's a small item which is simple. It's written in simple, not technical language, right? And it describes mostly the requirements of what the end user or the client would like to see at the end of the life cycle. It consists mostly of three key elements. It is the as-a element, which defines the role or persona, right, that will benefit from this feature at the end. It is the I want key element, which is actually the feature or the action that the user desires to perform, right? And last but not least is the so that, which is actually the rationale behind the user's needs or desire for this feature. A simple example. As a customer, I want to add items to my shopping cart so that I can gather all my desired items in one place before checking out. I believe, right? And actually, I think that you all see those three lines and say, okay, that's a simple one. Yeah. Give it to me and I will just implement it and develop it and deliver it to production. It's not that easy though. Let's see how BDD sees that user story, which seems really simple. BDD is based on how the user sees these requirements, those three lines actually, right? Which seem simple, but yet there's a lot of story behind that. The three key elements for the BDD, and for the Gherkin language that all scenarios are written based on Gherkin language, are first given, which is actually the initial context or the state of the system, right? From where we will start the test, actually. It's the when as a second key element. It's the action to be done by the user. And then we have the then, which is actually to specify the expected outcome. It is the assertion that we want to achieve on this one. How to assert that this scenario is working as expected. On the left side, I'm writing the user story that we have seen previously. As a customer, I want to add items so that I can gather all my desired items in a cart. And let's see now how the test based on BDD could be achieved better. And you will see stories here, scenarios that maybe you have never thought of. So, first scenario, simple one. All of you could say, yes, yeah, I have thought of that previously. Scenario, customer adds an item to the shopping cart. Perfect. Given I am a logged in customer, of course we are logged in, right? Details that could bring a lot of change in the implementation of the development. And I am on the product details page of product A. Again, one more detail. Perfect. When I click add to cart, then product A should be added to my shopping cart. And the quantity of product A in the cart should be 1. Maybe most of you have thought of, yeah, okay, this is how it works. Have you thought of that when you have seen this one? Maybe you can say no. Maybe you can say yes. If it's yes, then you are at a very good level. Let's move on. Next scenario. Customer adds multiple quantities of an item to the shopping cart. So not only one, multiple items. Right. Given I'm a logged in user, perfect. The same scenario like the previous given. And I am on the product details page of product B, perfect. When I specify the quantity as 3 now, right, and I click add to cart, 3 units then, right, of product B are added to my shopping cart. More or less a bit trickier than previous one, but still achievable. And maybe some of you have thought of that. Let's see the third one. Scenario, customer tries to add an item to shopping cart without being logged in. How many of you have thought of that? Raise your hands. 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. So we're here around 50 people, only 5, right? So very few percent here. Given I'm a logged in user and I am on the product series A, when I click add to cart, then I should be prompt to log in or register. Seeing that, right, I believe you have thought of those scenarios, but not in such detail. That's BDD, actually. And those scenarios should follow the user story from beginning to end. Developers should be aware of this, testers should be aware of this, SMEs, subject matter experts, should be aware of this, clients should be aware of this, and clients should agree on this. Right? Otherwise, you will go back, to the life cycle, raising bugs, raising change requests and changes to the features, and that's a frustration for all of us, right? Not only for developers, but for testers and BAs and the whole work. Let's have a look on the key takeaways, right? We have around 4.5 minutes. So, what do we achieve using BDD? Behavior-driven development. So we improve communication and we encourage collaboration. We don't have developers working on their end, testers working on their side, maybe getting close in a room, right? Doing their stuff. So we improve this collaboration, we enhance this collaboration. Everyone should work with anyone in a team. Of course, using BDD scenarios, we are getting clear requirements out of that collaboration, right? Not only 3 lines, but you see what's happening. You have seen the details of that. No need to mention, right? We also get the problems or the gaps earlier than the end of the process, right? We are creating documentation out of it. So by the end of this process, we have a documentation which is actually a living one because changes or additions are happening to those scenarios. We focus mostly on user experience. Yeah, we are all users here, good, but if you see how a platform works from a user perspective, which is actually just there, studying on a laptop, trying to do some stuff, users actually are the worst testers, I believe, because they're clicking anywhere, trying to see if anything works, and nothing works, of course. It facilitates continuous improvement because, it goes on, collaboration, communication. This is a part of the collaboration as well, the improvement. Automation, this process is automation friendly. There are many open source tools out there that can help you automate testing. And in a way, we're also doing that in an in-house application there. We reduce the development time. Thank God, developers should work on very essential ones, right? Not just rewrite code and reuse what they had done earlier. And of course, at the end, we deliver quality in our work, in our deliveries. I believe that was the end of the presentation. I'll be glad to answer questions if there are any. Ladies first.
Thank you. I don't know if I should
Just speak up a little bit, if it's okay.
I'm an agile coach and supporting development teams, and I love what you just showed us. My question is, so this is the outcome of collaboration between developers, product owners, BAs, customers.
Anyone.
And you mentioned that it's very critical to have customers on board.
Yes,
How
yes.
to get there, because this is a long-term investment, right? Because it saves time and it speeds up things in long term, which usually.
I got the same question. A few minutes ago, and the question was, okay, how do you implement that, right? How do you reach a point actually where everyone works with anyone? It needs a lot of time, and that time would be really hard, right?
Yeah.
Coaching is one of the biggest issues of this because for anyone actually, if you bring in something new, right, he will say, I know how to do my work, so don't challenge me, don't give it to me, please, right? No.
Yes.
It's not for him only, it's for the whole world, and he will see how this goes. Believe me, I tried to do that about 2 years ago with my team. It was really hard at the beginning, really hard, right? But when they get to know what are the advantages of this one, coaching was just an easy thing for the new members.
Human.
Exactly, for the new members that they were joining. The first time were really hard, really hard. I understand what you are facing, right? But we can have a detailed discussion out of this call. If you need more details, so we can discuss that.
Yeah.
What I've been through, so I can help you out.
Yes, so one key takeaway actually from your talk is that using the initial state, it can guide you to find the variables that will impact the test scenario. But it could be also that if you think about all the details, you would have it's a Cartesian thing and it would explode. So my question is, how would you balance it not to have too many details in the stories, but to get it just right?
It depends, actually. All details should be written somewhere, right? The client and the team, actually, let's say the team, because in the team you have also the client in there, right? Needs to know about those details, because otherwise the client and the team will never give the good value to what they deliver. And whenever they see those details, you just try to cut down things and maybe create an MVP product, as we say, right? And then go on to new features, new features. The work actually will be clearer, sorry for my English, right? If those details are written down. I enhance this activity to write down as many details as possible, because this will give a better picture to anyone who is working on this project, right? And to developers mostly, how this should behave at the end. Of course, if things are getting bigger, then you need to cut out with the client, we need to keep that MVP as small as possible. I don't know if I answered your question. Let's have a discussion maybe outside, better one.
Thank you for that.
Thank you.